Hi everyone. Hi Nick. Very early on a Monday morning, dreary day here in New England. I had a request to do a tutorial on how I make altar paper clips. So I know this looks like upside down and backwards for you guys, but I can't set this up with the camera between my legs. I don't know how you ladies that do that, but I can't make it work because I know I would be whacking the camera. So I'm going to try to do a tutorial on the two different kinds of altered paper clips that I do, and I'm certainly in no way saying that this is the best way or the only way or that I even invented altered paper clips, because I definitely did not. But this is how I do it. Which one do I want to do first? I guess we'll do the easier one first. So I've kind of got around me all the things that I think I might be gonna need. Tickets, you know, these big rolls of tickets that you could get at Walmart. I probably had this for like 3 years and it's still gigantic. I'll probably be dead before I use them all. Little charms and selection of ribbons and different ribbons. This is all Christmas because that's what I'm working on right now. It's different ephemera that I keep in this, Christmas ones I keep in this little box. These are also great. These Bella Carta ones that come with them, that go with their paper collections. I got a billion of those. Buttons, which I keep in canning jars, organized by color. Let's see, what else? Where's paper clips? Fabric, garment pins, little sentiments. These are the Tim Holtz Chit Chat sentiments. I've had these for years and years. And a glue gun. That is the trick, is the glue gun. My glue gun is certainly seen better days. But I'm gonna guess that it's heated up enough, and I keep it over there on the side of my over there on a piece of leftover scrap of flooring from when they put the floor down in here, because then I don't have to scrape the glue drops off my table. So as far as paper clips, I use the jumbo ones, and since they're really essentially the paper clip really doesn't show, you can even use the colored plasticky ones, but don't, I wouldn't get the, I've used the gold ones, but if you're just starting out, or things like that, money is precious to everyone, just get the cheapy ones. They work just fine. So let's do the easiest one first. So you get your paper clip. Try to remember to keep in frame here. You get your paper clip, and you're going to get 2 of your tickets. So you get your 2 tickets, and you're going to separate them. And these are really, you get this whole big roll really cheaply at Walmart. And then you're going to take 1 ticket, and it really doesn't matter which way you put it, and you're going to feed it. I'll move this out the way. So you're going to feed it in, like you're going to put the paper clip on the ticket, sort of in the middle, like that. So that's the small end, and that's the bigger end. And I do leave it, I kind of push it all the way in, so there's a little bit, see, it makes it easier to get it on the page if you push it all the way in and leave this little tip out, rather than doing it this way, because it just makes it a little harder. This way it's harder to get it onto the page when you put it in your journal. So I leave the tip kind of hanging off. So then you take your, flip it back over to what's going to be the inside, and then you take your handy dandy glue gun, which is trailing dried up glue. You take your handy dandy glue gun and you put glue on the inside. Twirl off the ends, put your glue gun back. So now you've got glue on the paper clip and on the inside of the ticket. And then you take your second ticket and you just stick them together, and you're sandwiching that half of the paper clip. And then you kind of line it up before everything dries. And you're just sandwiching the inside of the paper clip in between the two tickets. So you've got one side, so this is what's going to go on your page. And this side is what you build your paper clip on. Okay? And there's a lot of ways you can do this. The easiest thing, if you don't have a ginormous stash, is you can take a piece of ephemera. One's, from like this, or, some Tim Holtz, one of the people, paper dolls, whatever, one of the Tim Holtz photographs, or a vintage photograph, anything, and just glue it onto the paper clip. Easy peasy. And that can just be inserted on a journal page. I've got one here. Here, I'll use this. So this is the cutouts that I need to cut out, but you can just you just slip it on the page. It can be a tuck spot, whatever. So that is the absolute easiest thing that you can do. But then if you want to build this up and do some sort of a collaging or layering, you want to think about, what am I going to use for a base? Because you want to cover this up. So I think I'm going to use this piece of fabric, and I'm going to reach up here and grab my Nan's pinking shears, and I'm going to just trim this down a tiny bit. And these are, I'm left-handed, and these are right-handed shears, so this is not altogether easy. And they kill my hand, and if you're neurotic about saving things, you can save those little bits. I don't. And I do have trash down there. I'm not doing a Julia Child and throwing it on the floor. So I'm going to use this piece of fabric as the base, and again, glue gun, stick it, just glue it down. I learned one thing about this over the years, is that hot glue and acrylic nails are not good friends. It's really hard to get the glue off your nail. So now I have, that's the back side, and that's the front, and it's all ready already. And then you just start building it up with however you want it to look. I think I'm going to take a little bit of coffee dyed cheesecloth. Thank you, Renee. She sent me a stash of this, which I love and I hoard. So I'm going to take a little piece of this, and I'm just going to kind of experiment and see if what I've pulled out, if I like it. And I've got this little Tim Holtz little girl. Isn't she cute? Turn her around. Isn't she cute? Nope, no, she's upside down. She's really cute. So I'm going to put her there, I think. And, it needs something. I have some gold, like, organza kind of ribbon. So I'm going to cut couple pieces of that, and that out of the way, and then I'm gonna fold those in half. I think I'm gonna fold those in half, and I'm looking for my stapler. Oh, it's up here. Okay, so one of the tricks that I do if I'm trying to layer like this is I want this onto here. But to try to hang on to that and glue it all is going to be a pain in the butt. So I'm going to take my Tim Holtz stapler and I'm going to just staple this down. And I do that all the time when I'm doing layering things. So when I put this down now, it's going to stay there in place and I don't have to fry my hands trying to hold on to and get glue stuck all over. So now I'm going to glue this down because I kind of like that. And put down the glue gun and kind of fray this a bit. And just stick that down. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And now I'm going to get the little girl. And I'm going to put glue on the back of her and I'm going to put her over the staple. So staple is all hidden like that. And let's see. Okay, garment pin, bulb pin, and these are all my Christmas charms. So I'm going to dig around in here and find one that I want. How about that snowflake? So, snowflake on the pin. If you don't have charms, you can do the same thing with buttons, beads, inexpensive, easy to find, and then I'm just gonna pin that through the ribbon. So if I put it through the cheesecloth, it'll fray, and then that will fall off, and then you just pin it. And to make it wiggle more, I generally turn it upside down. So the, let's glue strings. So the, it's the smooth part, the larger part where it's pinned through so that it has more kind of movement. So there's that one. All done. Ready to go in the journal. So I'm going to put that out of the way and then I will show you the other kind that I do, which I generally do more often. Glue. This one is the one where you use the paper strips and it looks like a banner. So I have two paper scraps. This is one of the pages out of the journal kit that I'm using for the journal that I'm working on that I'm not putting in the signatures. This is a great way to use up scrap paper or the offcuts when you're cutting down your 12 by 12 papers for your journal. Is a great way to use up the extra bits. I make these 1.5 inches wide because they fit on the paper clip and kind of pretty much cover the paper clip. So I've got the two pieces and I always lay them together. I didn't cut these particularly accurate apparently, or particularly straight. But I'm going to fishtail the bottom. And I generally do them at the same time so that they're even. So the quickest way to do that is you go in the middle and you cut up. And then you go to the corner and you cut to the top of the where you cut up. And the same on the other side. And then you don't have to measure or anything and it's even. And then I'm going to reaching behind the tripod and I'm getting my ink and I'm just going to really lightly ink these up. And this one. So now we have the two pieces and word to the wise, if you're using one long strip, got me here right near me. If you're using a long, say this was one long strip, and when you go to cut it in half, because like generally what I'll do is I'll fold it this way, so I get it in half, and then I'll cut it. You have to remember to turn, if it's directional, you got to remember before you fishtail the end to turn your paper the right way around, or when you go to put these two together, you're going to have one that's upside down. And, you know, you might not be happy with that outcome. So I learned that one the hard way. So you have your two pieces now, and you get your paper clip. And you have to think about, and the same thing with the other one, is which way do you want it to go on the page? Do you want it to go on the, this is the journal that I'm working on. Do you want it to go on a right-hand page, or do you want it to go on the left-hand page? So it makes a difference how you thread the fabric onto the paperclip. Because you don't want it on the, you don't want to put the paper on the open end. You want to put it on the solid piece, because on your paperclip you get the one end where they bend it around, and that's the end, and then the other side is solid, and that's where you're going to put your, fold your paper over. So if you want it to be, so when you're doing this, you want this to be on the bottom, the solid one. So if you want it on this side or on this side, it depends how you thread the paper on. I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever, but okay, so I guess I'm going to have this go on a left-hand page. So you take your paper and your paper clip, and you put your paper through the paper clip like that. So it goes over that solid piece. I don't know if you can you see? And then all I do is I fold it back like that, so it's folded over. And then I give this a little whack of glue, hot glue, and I stick it down. And if it's a little uneven, depending on if this is going to show or not, I'll trim that off. If not, I don't bother. And then you take your second piece, and there's a lot of ways you can do this. You can have them, one over the other if you're using coordinating paper, or you can do this with just one and have just a single banner. But what I do is I slide this up again, and then I angle. I make the second one shorter, and then I sort of angle it like that so that the ends are kind of angled, and then I fold back again. Let's fold it over the one that was already there, and then I glue again back here. Glue. So I glue there, and I also glue these two together, because if you don't, it's going to stick up. So I glue them together. Like that. And then get rid of all the glue bits. And if there's a piece, sometimes you end up with a corner that's sticking out over here, just turn it off. So there you have that, and that's the base for your paperclip. Again. And then you just do the exact same thing. You try to figure out a base. I think I'm going to use some of this ribbon that I'm just going to angle like that. Didn't cut that very straight. I'm going to lay that down. Put this back over in my ribbon container. I'm going to lay that down. Let's see, how about some of these snowflakes? There's one, and two snowflakes, and nope, I'm not going to put that because I don't like it. I think maybe we'll just do this. Start with the snowflakes, and maybe this, and button jar. Digging around trying to find a fairly red one. Nope, that's purple. Maybe a button, What else? What else? What else? Okay, I think we'll use... Alright, we'll move that. I think I will put some cheesecloth. And then again, this way. Yep, okay. So I'm going to start... I'm going to do this laying down. I'm going to put down some glue. I'm going to put down the cheesecloth. And I'm going to stick that snowflake right down because it's going to bleed. The glue is going to come through the cheesecloth. So I can get a 2-for-1. Let's see. This. No. Maybe. Just kind of making this up as I go along. This. And just kind of try to make a pleasing arrangement that looks good to you. I'm gonna put that one down there. And I'm thinking, how would that look? That might work. I'm gonna make a bow here. So cut off a fairly long piece, and then that's how you do a bow. You just loop, go around, kind of go around your finger, and poke through. Try to grab it, and grab it, and then pull the ends, start fiddling with it, pull it tight. And then you just fiddle with it until it looks good, and flip it over on the other side because that's going to be the better side of the knot. Like that. And I'm thinking I'm going to put that right there. Glue. And, yep, I think I'll put that there. And that's going to clash, so that's going back in the bucket. Let's see, anything else? How about another one of these? Or maybe I've got this little thing. What have I got in here besides junk? I have some of these, I'm digging around in this little drawer. I have these Tim Holtz tags. So I think I will put one of these. So on the bulb pin, and we will put it through the bow. And these pins are not very sharp, so they're kind of hard to poke through. And clip it. And I'm going to flip this over, and there is another altar paper clip. It's really easy. You can do this with ribbon, sorts of different kinds of papers. It's really easy, kind of the sky's the limit, really. So I have these two. I'm going to clear off my mess. So these are the two different kinds that I make, and I'm sure there are others. But these are the ones that I do. So there you go, Terry. I hope that helps. And I am off to bake cookies. And I will see you next time. Bye.